Why is it that every black leader who preach liberation, economic empowerment, and spirituality ended up unalived? Yet today's mega church pastors preach obedience and prosperity and are thriving. That's not a coincidence, family. It's by design. For decades, the U.S. government has worked overtime to stop the rise of what they call a black messiah, a leader who could awaken the minds of the people, challenge white supremacy, and create true economic and spiritual freedom. Family, this wasn't just a conspiracy theory. It was an official government policy. Let's get into it. J. Edgar Hoover, the former director of the FBI, made it very clear. The biggest threat to America was a black leader who could unite the people. COINTELPRO was created to dismantle, infiltrate, and destroy any movement that empowered black people. Malcolm X, MLK, Fred Hampton, and Marcus Garvey were all surveilled, undermined, and or assassinated. Now let me ask you this. If these men were so dangerous to America, what exactly were they preaching? Let's go back down through the aisles of our records of the past in history and find out why people thought they were a threat to America and what exactly were they preaching to cause people to think they were a threat. These revolutionary black leaders, they were not preaching violence. They were not preaching crime. They were not preaching chaos. They were preaching black economic power. They were preaching self-preservation and self-determination. And most of all, they were preaching spiritual liberation, not colonization. And because they preached liberation and not colonization, that's what made them dangerous. Now let's fast forward to today. We have so many. And the question we have to ask, why were radical black faith leaders assassinated but modern mega church pastors are celebrated? Why do we still see government pushback against black spirituality but not against churches that promote obedience? Why does Christianity in America look nothing like the teachings of Yeshua, aka Jesus, who was a revolutionary? These are the questions that we must ask as a uncolonized and as an awakening people. Brothers and sisters, here's the hard facts and the hard truth that might be hard to swallow. Faith was weaponized against us. Before colonization, our spirituality connected us to our ancestors, our land, and our divine power. After colonization, that same spirituality was turned against us, taught to keep us docile, obedient, and waiting for a heaven we can't see. And they gave us new leaders. Instead of radical faith leaders who spoke truth to power, we got prosperity preachers, government-approved pastors, faith leaders who keep the system intact instead of dismantling it. This is what we have today, instead of the revolutionary leaders who will stand up and be a black messiah and rally the people together to unite, to make an impact in our community and in the world. Preachers such as T.D. Jakes, Paula White, and many others in the entire prosperity gospel movement are not a threat to white supremacy. They work for it. Ask yourself these questions. Why do black churches today focus on obedience rather than resistance? Why is ancestral veneration demonized while blind faith is rewarded? Why did Malcolm X, MLK, Fred Hampton, Marcus Garvey get taken out while others get million-dollar deals and political endorsements? Let's think about this. Are you thinking? Critical skills, thinking skills are important. in awakening and in our conscious awakening, we have to really ask the hard questions and think about it. It's because they hijacked black spirituality. They replaced our ancestral power with compliance. They replaced our economic self-sufficiency with reliance on tithes and offerings. You heard about it. They replaced our revolutionary faith with white-approved religion. That's why they took out those they considered the black messiah and left those, gave us new leaders and left those who will obey the system in charge. Now let's be clear about this. This isn't about attacking faith. This is about exposing who weaponized it against us. The biggest threat to white supremacy has always been a spiritually, mentally, and economically free black mind. This is the biggest threat to white supremacy. And that's why they fear the rise of a new black messiah. One thing's for certain and two things for sure. They know that the moment we wake up, we don't just take back our power, we take back our future. So here's my question to you, family. Are you still waiting for liberation? Or are you ready and willing to reclaim what was stolen from us? Put in the work to build a community that supports each other. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about this because these are the conversations they don't want us to talk about. This has been another impactful and powerful episode of the Sankofa Sessions Podcast with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Israel, the podcast where we take you back into the records of our glorious past to bring clarity on our bright future. And I want you to remember this, that you are powerful. You are creative, and you are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. You are God in flesh having a human experience, and never let anyone, any ideology, and any philosophy tell you otherwise than who you are. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. And until next time, I want you to stay vigilant, stay woke, and stay in enlightenment. Always remember, if you're enjoying these podcast episodes, I want you to click like, engage with this video. Let's make the truth go viral. Like, share, comment, post, repost, send it to many people as possible so we can wake up everybody. So until next time, peace be with you.